Muslim prayer and thanksgiving for Ghana 60 years on. Members of Parliament worry over illegal mining in the country. Bank of Ghana unveils new commemorative 5 cedi note. Hello, good evening. This is News Hour Live on your own news channel GBC24 and Ghana Television. My name is Micheline Taka.
And my name is Akpene Avo Ajaja. Thank you so much for joining us for the news. In the details, the President Nana Akufo-Addo and his vice Mahmoud Bawumia on Friday joined Muslims in Accra for the National Muslim prayers as part of activities marking Ghana's 60th celebration.
President Nana Akufo-Addo pointed to the peaceful coexistence among the various religious organizations in the country and said this is what our forebears wished for.
Friday Juma prayers at the Abosokai Central Mosque was a special one. It was a prayer to commemorate Ghana's Golden Jubilee. It was also a time to thank Allah for the peace and tranquility the nation has enjoyed over the years and ask for his continuous blessing for a country that has become a beacon of hope on the African continent. The Vice President Mahamadou Bawumia thanked Allah for his blessings to the nation.
We all know we've had challenges through these 60 years, but we thank Allah for keeping Ghana together in peace and in harmony. And I think there's nobody who has followed Ghana in the world who can deny that Ghana is a beacon today of stability and democracy on the African continent.
The President Nana Akufo-Addo asked for wisdom from above to lead the nation.
Let us continue to stay as one. Different peoples, different religions, different beliefs, but united all as Ghanaians, and united in our vision of developing our country as a free, prosperous nation that is governed according to the rule of law, in which human rights are respected. That is the vision of the founders of our nation, and it is the vision that we have to continue to realize in our time. On this time, I pray that the Almighty not only continues to bless our nation, but continues to give wisdom and strength to those of us whom he has appointed to guide the affairs of our country.
The National Chief Imam, Sheikh Nuhu Osman Shadbutu, said special prayers. The Vice President was presented with the Quran by the nation's Chief Imam.
The Ghana Chamber of Mines has donated 2 million Ghana cedis as their contribution towards the Ghana 60 years on celebration, presenting the check to the Chief of Staff, Madam Frema Opari, at the office of the President. The President of the Chamber of Mines, Mr. Kwame Adokufo, said the entire membership of the Chamber supports President Akufo-Addo's call for the private sector to exclusively finance the 60th anniversary celebration, hence their contribution of 2 million cedis. The Chief of Staff, Madam Frema Opari, expressed appreciation for the gesture and commended members of the Chamber of Mines for their support. Also at the presidency to support the celebration was BXC Company Limited. They presented a check for 50,000 Ghana cedis. The managing director of the company was accompanied by the former MP for Boise East, Mr. Edward Enin. Mr. Enin urged other organizations to support the Ghana 60 Years On Committee, make the celebrations a memorable one.
The United Gold Coast Convention is said to have been a party comprising mainly of the elite in Gold Coast society. It was to push for self-government by constitutional means. History has it that a Sekandi-based timber merchant Alfred Grant, popularly known as Pa Grant, met with other founding members including Dr. J.B.24, who later became leader of the party, a Sekandi lawyer R.S. Blay, Mr. Awuno Williams, William Oforiata, Emmanuel Ubechebi-Lamte, Ebenezer Kweje, and Joseph Chiboy to form the group. Many acknowledge the UGCC's role in Ghana's struggle for self-rule. Today, as we celebrate Ghana's 60th milestone, we walk you down memory lane.
The UGCC was formed first as a social pressure group and officially inaugurated at Salt Pond in August 1949 as the first political party in Ghana, then Gold Coast. Over the past decades, the United Gold Coast Convention was transformed and reformed. Today, the really new patriotic party, the party in government, is the party in charge of the 60th anniversary celebrations. And the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has set the celebration in motion. However, not all the families of the United Gold Coast Convention are happy at the commemoration of such an event. On our arrival at his home, one of the surviving sons of the late chairman of the UGCC was flipping through a pile of documents and newspaper clips which had stories and articles about his father. Mr. William Wino Grant is appealing to the state to restore the image of his late father. He laments the several years of neglect of the surviving sons and daughters of Pa Grant and the refusal by historians to highlight his real achievement and role in Ghana's independence.
Through his hard work, he decided to help Gold Coast and Africa as a whole to achieve independence. So he has to form a team that will fight for independence. So, during that time, he has to engage 4 or 5 people like J.B.24, J.B.24, Akwaje, R.S. Blay, Akufo-Addo. They were all in our new currency. Their pictures are there. So he was furnishing them with money, transport, and meetings. Okay. Before Dr. Akwaje introduced to my father that he has a friend at London. He wants him to come and be their secretary to help fight for the independence. So my father gave him a money that because his father was a white man, they thought that he would be a double stand. He can be a white son and a black son. So he decided to give money to Mr. Tumi Amwakun to represent him and give the money to J.B.24 and accompanied J.B.24 to London and brought back Kwame Nkrumah to then Gold Coast.
Mr. William Wino Grant is one of the surviving children of the late George Alfred Grant, known in Ghana's political history as Pa Grant. Over the past 6 decades, he has led a crusade to restore the image of his late father, who he claims was buried under very undignified circumstances, considering his stature in Ghana's political history. Mr. Wino Grant, who lived on Brown Avenue at Sekandi with his family, corrected certain historical facts which he says are not precisely true. He disclosed that, contrary to what is in the public domain, that the UGCC was formed in Salt Pond, the group was rather formed in Sekondi and later inaugurated at number 10 Professor Alote Road, which is opposite the Davis Fan Club. He said he was going to petition the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, to exhume his father's remains for reburial. Also, he promised to eject the tenants from his father's home at Axim, which was built in 1918 and is said to have housed the first bank in West Africa.
To the Ashanti region now, where workers of the railway company are urging the Akufo-Addo administration to make good its promise to revamp the railway sector as an alternative for travel by land in the country. Railways and roadways are the two means of transport over the land. The railways have advantage over the roadways because they can carry a larger number of passengers and heavy load to distant places.
Long before Ghana gained political independence on March 6, 1957, the colonial masters had already extended the railway system to the Ashanti region. It followed initial construction of the system in Takoradi in Western region and Tema in the Greater Accra region. The extension of the rail lines to Kumasi was mainly because of the immense natural resources of the area. Among these were gold, bauxite, timber and cocoa. The intention of the colonial rulers by extending the railway system to that part of the colony was therefore to cut those resources to the country's ports for export. Bafwa Mwati is the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the Railway Workers Union.
From Kumasi up to Nkoko, there are almost 83 workers here, working under one area manager. And as we are asking, the collapse of the railway company, especially in Kumasi here, it affects especially the workers in general, simply because you can see the tracks lying without any train coming from Takoradi or from Kumasi to Accra. That's our big problem.
He said other benefits the vibrant railways provided were that crop farmers could easily and cheaply transport their farm produce to the marketing centers, and that significantly helped to keep prices of foodstuffs under control. Also, both intra- and inter-regional commuters had an affordable means of transport to and from their destinations.
When the train was running, in fact, when the sleeper train comes from Takoradi to Kumasi, or the afternoon trains, you find that many people who have flew from different villages through the rail, bringing all sorts of food items from maybe Kojokrum, Manso, Mempasem, and Dunkwa. All market women joined the train and brought their foodstuffs.
However, just as most other state enterprises, the once vibrant and most preferred means of transportation in Ashanti region has gradually ground to a halt. Information gathered by GBC24 suggested that the last train coach left Kumasi September 2006. Since then, the more than 83 workers of the company can better be described as redundant. Even though they go to work as required, they have virtually nothing to do due to the non-availability of the train coaches. The train workshop where the coaches were routinely serviced has only one unserviceable coach, while the few abandoned coaches left have become the waste collection containers. The rail lines and the railway station have also been taken over by traders who consider the place conducive for their activities. Squatters also have a field day as they encroach on the railway staff quarters and reserved lands with sheer impunity. Bafwa Mwati spoke about how this came about.
For the hawkers, they are just trading as temporary measures. If the government or whoever is concerned to come and rehab the train, you have no problem about the hawkers. You can just take 2 or 1 week to send them away from the track. The government now, then Nana Akufo-Addo, will help the Ghana railway workers and see our problem to rehab the railway system for us. it will be very much appreciable, because railway workers all the time, we are crying for our future. Since the railway collapsed since 2006, all the workers, maybe some of our children went to school, some of them university, poly, and all sorts of education we are taking. But because of the financial problem facing the railway workers, we can't send our children to higher level of education.
The workers are hopeful that with the appointment of a Minister of State for Railways Development, the railway system will bounce back.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Railways Development, Mr. Joe Gate, has reiterated government's commitment to revamp the rail sector, inspecting the Tema-Konsombo Railway project. Mr. Gate said the project will lead to an improvement in the movement of goods and services in the country.
The Ghana government, through the Ghana Railway Development Authority, has initialed an agreement with Messrs. Afcon India to construct the Tema-Konsombo rail line with funding provided by the Indian government. The project falls in line with the master plan to develop the rail network in the country. The project will be a multi-modal rail line linking the port of Tema to the lake port of Akonsombo. The inspection team made its first stop at the Akonsombo Marine, but the minister was not convinced about the site.
There's a possibility of even creating a free zone area here. But the problem we have where I stand is that, as you can see, it's a very hilly area. So where is the land to expand? But we are being told by the port managers that just behind us, on the right side of us, there's some land. So we are going to look at it. And then we are going to look at other areas. Then we'll set up a technical team and they will advise.
The team then crossed over to the Volta region and made a stop at Chopu Farms.
How far is Accra? Accra is choked. So if we plan this thing in a manner that is not just the transport going to the north, but we terminate at a place where there's a land available, that people can come and live, that businesses can take off here, people can set up their factories here and so on, have the right incentives, tax incentives and so on.
Let's move to Parliament now, and the country's lawmakers are worried over the rate at which activities of illegal miners are affecting the country's natural resources. 4 years ago, a task force was put together to curb the menace, but the practice still persists. In Ghana, small-scale miners are often referred to as galamsey, derived from the English phrase gather them and sell. Most of these miners operate illegally along the fringes of mining company lands and in some cases in water bodies, leaving them very heavily polluted.
On the floor of the House, members of Parliament for Manson Kwanta and Takwan Suaim reminded their colleagues of the urgency to fight illegal mining or galamsey operations in the country.
Many lives have been lost due to the activities of these illegal miners. A number of unfortunate incidents have been reported in the media in recent times. I can recall a most recent one where over 100 persons lost their lives in Dunkanofin in the central region, where a pit collapsed near the Ofin River. Small-scale mining, which is an exclusive right for Ghanaians, must be given a boost and rebranded with proper regulations to create more jobs for Ghanaians. A national policy of land reclamation to reclaim the degraded mine sites after the closure of mines must be enshrined in the mining laws before anybody or group of people or institutions is granted permission to mine any area. This disturbing phenomenon ought not to be countenanced, because once it is illegal, it is illegal. If somebody is involved in illegal mining, he must be taken on like murder or stealing or any other illegal activity in this country.
Members of the House sympathized with the MP for Shai Osudoku, Mrs. Linda Akwele Uklu, when she rose to make a statement on road accidents, recounting how she lost her husband in a road accident exactly a year ago after winning the NDC primaries for the 2016 general elections.
There are too many reckless drivers on our roads. The alarming rate of road accidents should no longer be considered as accidental, but as some kind of suicidal attacks on our roads.
The lawmakers unanimously called for concerted efforts from the police, MTTU and DVLA to reduce road carnage in the country. They also asked for attitudinal change among Ghanaians to curb the menace.
You're watching News Hour and we are live on your news channel GBC24. We are also live on Ghana Television. Time to take a break. We'll be back shortly with business.
It's Friday, we do business. My name is Morris Obete. The Bank of Ghana has unveiled a commemorative 5 cedi note to mark the bank's 60th anniversary. The note will be in circulation from Tuesday, 7th of March 2017. It has a portrait of legendary Ghanaian educationist James Kwadwo Aggrey. The new note will be used alongside the old 5 cedi note. The new 5 cedi note is small in size compared to the one currently in circulation. It has improved security features, some of which aid the visually impaired with identification. The new 5 cedi note also has the portrait of Dr. James Kwadwo Aggrey, a philosopher and teacher who was instrumental in the formative stages of Ghana's educational structure. He replaces the big sis on the 5 cedi note. The governor of the central bank, Dr. Nashiru Isaku, explained why Dr. Aggrey was chosen. The head of currency department of the central bank touched on some key features of the new notes.
One key feature I want to talk about is what we call the tactile marks. That is, in other words, the blind features. And this helps our visually impaired brothers and sisters to easily identify these new notes and know the value as opposed to the existing banknote. So that is something that you feel at the two ends of the banknotes, and it's something that is very, very prominent.
He explained why the 5 cedi note was chosen to commemorate the bank's 60th anniversary.
The central bank thought it twice to use the 5 Ghana cedi note because even the ordinary person on the street or the school child can make savings and then have 5 cedis and then change this and keep it as a form of souvenir or memorabilia.
The new note, which starts circulation on the 4th of March, is expected to hit the market by Tuesday. The new currency will be spent side by side the old 5 cedi note. And still in business, Air France KLM says the underlying principles of its operations in Ghana will be caring, innovation and responsibility. These principles will drive the resumption of flights on the Accra-Paris route. Air France KLM aims at increasing trade volumes between Accra and Paris through the carting of goods, especially fruits, from Accra to Paris and Amsterdam without any difficulty.
The merger between Air France and KLM Royal Dutch Airlines is now 13 years old. The union made the group the largest European airline group. One group, 2 airlines and 3 businesses. Though it is a merger, each airline has retained its individual identity, trade name and brand with the 3 core businesses of passenger business, cargo, engineering and maintenance. Air France and KLM carry more than 77 million passengers per year, operating 573 aircrafts, which enable them to fly to 243 destinations in 103 countries. According to them, these developments has given them the impetus to expand their operations across the world. Hence, the resumption of flights on the Accra-Paris route, a route they abandoned in 1946. The resumption means Air France will fly 3 times directly from Accra to Paris with its new Airbus 330 flights of AF780 and AF731. The chairman and chief executive of Air France KLM, Jean-Marc Janelac, says Air France is coming with a different traveling experience.
We have built a system of connection either in Amsterdam or in Paris that is very efficient and that allows passengers, for example, coming to Accra and changing flights in Paris to do it in very efficient and comfortable way. We have people, we have processes, we have a lot of operation and processes that allows to have a smooth and efficient connection. No worry on that point.
The Vice President of Air France KLM, Mr. Patrick Alexandre, is optimistic that with the array of services at their disposal, Air France will be a different choice for customers on the Accra-Paris route.
I'm not selling to you a price. I'm selling to you a trip, an experience of a trip. I'm selling you a product which is done by a lot of people. So I think my first answer should be we have to have the best equation, the best relation in between the value you got for your money. So first of all, I insist on the quality of the product you sell, whether it is KLM, whether it is Air France. Then of course, you said yourself, you're right, we have to be competitive. And we work hard to be competitive.
Air France received its first flight on the Accra-Paris route on Tuesday, 28 February 2017 from Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris to the Kotoka International Airport.
Let's go to the interbank market where the pound is selling at 5 cedis 53 pesos, the US dollar at 4 cedis 50 pesos, and the euro going for 4 cedis 73 pesos. We also bring you latest prices of major commodities on the international market. And that was business on Friday. Enjoy the weekend.
Let's talk some health now. A physically challenged man, Mr. Sylvester Berima Entry, has given a new lease of life to disabled persons in the Ofinso North District of the Ashanti region. He has set up a training and rehabilitation center for the disabled.
The Physically Challenged Action Foundation, formerly known as the Training and Rehabilitation Center at Ofinso Marse, was established 28 years ago to offer a lifeline to the physically disabled in the form of skills training. The training is to empower the disabled to be self-supporting and not to beg for alms. Foreign donor support, which helped to establish the center, has ceased. Thus, the center had to mobilize funds from local sources. A school block is currently being constructed to enable formal education to take off at the center from the 2017-2018 academic year. The foundation has received many awards as to indicate that its work in the Ofinso traditional area is nationally recognized. The director of Physically Challenged Action Foundation, Mr. Sylvester Berima Entry, said the interventions are to remove the stigma on persons living with disability and make them productive. Dr. Hayford of the Special Education Unit at the University of Education Winneba spoke about challenges that face a life with disabilities.
And also in health, staff of Ghana Life Insurance have donated blood and plastic chairs to the children's ward of the 37 Military Hospital in Accra. The commanding officer of the hospital, Colonel Michael Yeboah Japong, was grateful and appealed to the public to donate more blood to the hospital since its blood unit is still out of stock. And that was health. We'll be back shortly with some international stories.
Hello, good evening. Let's talk sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. We're kicking off with football news, where Accra Great Olympics coach Godwin Atram says he will lace his boots and play with the Ghana Premier League game with Wafa on Sunday. The Daddy Boys are here to win again after 4 rounds of matches.
Accra Great Olympics on Thursday played Bichim United in an outstanding Ghana Premier League encounter at the Accra Sports Stadium. Olympics were far from convincing as they lost by 3-1 at home. The Daddy Boys in the blue jersey were 2 goals down at half-time before getting a goal back in the second half through a penalty. They were woeful up front despite enjoying the greater percentage of play. The dying embers of the game, Bichim United striker Ahmed Toure scored the second goal of the day to seal victory for the Bichim lads. The situation has forced Great Olympics coach Godwin Atram to consider returning to help his side.
Right now, we are down already at the bottom. We aren't able to win again. We have to try and win against Wafa and then talk of Asofok. First, at least to win. We have 3 games to play here. We have 4. Now we are down by 3-1 today. We have 3. At least we have to win Wafa. And then we can talk of match to match, Asofok, and then the rest. I will assemble some players and I'll join them to play. And I believe that all the fans who are criticizing now is rather going to motivate me and do the right thing on the field.
His counterpart, Vincento Alberto, praised his players for the win.
I think each must very respect this Olympic team, because I meet them 2 times in friendly match, and was very hard, and also today was very hard to win, but with my quality player today was very good match.
Only plays Wafa on Sunday as Bichim United welcomes Liberty Professionals.
Let's change gears and talk rugby now, where the Ghana Rugby Football Union is hosting a first aid course for 15 coaches by a World Rugby trainer. This is to prove the quality of the player care index. The resource person Herman Bolu has arrived in the country.
The Ghana Rugby Football Union says player welfare is their #1 priority. To demonstrate this, the World Rugby Federation has dispatched one of its officials to Ghana to take players and officials through the new trends and solving medical issues in the sport.
My goal and the goal of World Rugby is to get an excellent rescue for rugby players.
The tournament commissioner of Ghana Rugby, Mr. Steve Noy, said the course is timely.
Injuries in rugby are very crucial, and they can take you even further to end your career. So World Rugby normally runs courses, first aid courses purposely for rugby, because rugby injuries could be different from football injuries. and to prevent all that. So it's always prevention, prevention, prevention. And if you want to prevent injuries, then you have to run courses. For every player or every manager, every coach should know what the injury should be able to detect an injury and should be able to do something about it before the medical people arrive.
Some topics to be treated in the two-day event include general principles, standard approach to injury on the field of play, and neck and spine injuries in rugby union, among others. To pugilism now, where former two-time IBF bantamweight champion of the world Joseph King Kong Agbeko says he will be returning to the ring in a matter of days. He hinted on what he intends to do after quitting the sport.
Two-time IBF bantamweight champion of the world and former IBO super bantamweight champion Joseph King Kong Agbeko last mounted the ring in October 2016 in Accra, where he claimed unanimous points victory over Haj Juma of Tanzania. Since then, Agbeko has not given up on the dream of annexing the world title again. He tells GBC24 more about his plans for the year.
I'm in the gym right now. We're putting something together. Hopefully, in a month or two, I'll be getting back into the ring. We are putting up a show. It's going to happen here in Ghana. Me as a boxer and as a promoter as well for Fresh King Entertainment. I'm looking at doing more stuff over here than in the US, just because day in, day out, we're getting older. I don't have longer windows like before. I have a few more years to be in this sport as a fighter, and I want to take after boxing as a promoter. So we are building up Fresh King Entertainment, and I believe with Fresh King Entertainment we'll be able to push the young hungry fighters from here to the world for them to be able to perform and become champions. Hopefully I should be able to fight 3 times before the end of this year. We are working on an upcoming fight which will happen in 2 months or 3. We'll be making an announcement hopefully by next week or something. So I'll be in the ring very, very soon, and then we're looking at taking another major fight after this one, and then we'll wait for the championship.
Agbeko has 31 fights to his credit, with 5 defeats and 23 wins by way of knockouts.
Let's quickly move to USA for an update in the ongoing NBA action, where the Chicago Bulls handed the Golden State Warriors their second straight loss on the road with an 84-87 victory at the American Airlines Arena. This is the first time the Golden State Warriors has lost back-to-back games in nearly 2 full calendar years. And so that's all for sports. We'll bring you more updates at 10. Entertainment is next.
Welcome back to the lighter side of the news. The Ghana Actors Guild, as part of celebrating Ghana's 60th milestone, is reenacting aspects of Ghana's independence struggle. The highlight will be the reenactment of the Declaration of Independence on Sunday, 5th March at the Independence Square.
Some aspects of the independence struggle to be reenacted by the Ghana Actors Guild include the 28th February Crossroad shooting, the reenactment of the arrest of the Big Six, and the reenactment of the Declaration of Independence. The art desk was at the dress rehearsal by the Actors Guild. An executive member of the Ghana Actors Guild, Abeku Sego, spoke to our team.
We have rehearsed over the past 2 weeks. We've been here almost every day for the past 2 weeks. On Tuesday we did the 28th February Crossroad incident. So on Sunday we did 2 things here: the change of guards and then the reenactment of the Declaration of Independence. So the you know, traditionally when a dead, especially a big man's body is somewhere, it must be guarded. And so the ceremonial change of guards is that the change of guards from one set to another. This is something that is done in many places. We're also using it to, give vent to some of our traditional dances.
As part of efforts to make the guild more vocal, there will be a free concert at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum on the last Friday of every month.
The Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor George Odro, says theatre plays a crucial role in knowledge development. According to him, people learn through theatre without going through the stress of learning processes while releasing tension. Professor Odro made this disclosure when the Minister of Information and Presidential Affairs launched the 2016-2017 Theatre and Film season for the Faculty of Arts of the university.
Nightlife in Cape Coast, especially around the university communities, will soon come alive with the launch of the 2016-2017 theatre and film season. This means there is now an option for lovers of theatre and film who may find nightlife in Cape Coast sometimes uneventful. Some say theatre does not only help release tension, but also has an important role in knowledge development. Excerpts from the theatre and film season, such as the story Anansi told, Caught in the Net, and the imprisonment of Obatala, were on the screen. The Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor George Odro, was worried about the lack of patronage of the theatre by Ghanaians. He therefore called on corporate Ghana and the government to help construct a theatre for the university. The Omanhin of the Ogwa traditional area, Osabere Makwesiata, assured the Department of Theatre and Film Studies of his support. Osabere Makwesiata said the country must realize the importance of theatre and develop it, since it portrays the true identity of Ghanaian culture. Launching the season, the Information Minister Mustafa Hamid reminded the students of the importance of extracurricular activities to help them develop certain skills. He said the leadership of the University of Cape Coast must apply to the GET Fund for the construction of an ultra-modern theatre and pledged his support to assist in any way possible. A lecturer at the Department of Theatre and Film Studies, Honam Atousu, spoke about the place for the academic year and the challenges the department faces.
Now,
Thanks for watching. This weather forecast was brought to you by Adriana Hini. See you same times tomorrow.
Thanks so much for your company. To come your way again with news tonight at 10. Good evening.